Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. The US official political decision stays on a blade edge 45 days before electors go to the surveys. In spite of Kamala Harris getting a charge out of one of her most reassuring spells of assessment surveying since turning into the leftists' chosen one almost 2 months prior. With about a month and a half until the official political race, Kamala Harris drives Donald Trump in different surveys, including a new overview showing her at 51.2% to Best's 44.6%. With just a month and a half left for the official fight between US VP Kamala Harris and previous US President Donald Trump, in November, Americans started projecting their most memorable in-person decides on Friday. US territories of Virginia, South Dakota and Minnesota saw electors arranging to project their polling forms. As Kamala Harris assumed control over the reins from US President Joe Biden, various surveys have shown a development of opportunities for the vote-based candidate. As per a study by the financial expert, the most recent surveying midpoints show Harris driving at 50, which is 8 focuses in front of Donald Trump's normal of 46. Noticeable American analyst Nate Silver uncovered that Kamala Harris has a 48.9% possibility winning the famous vote, giving her almost a 3% benefit over Trump, who remains at 46% as indicated by USA Today. Eminently, Silver's projections recommend that Harris has a 25% possibility winning the famous vote while losing in the discretionary school, the framework utilized in the US to choose the president. According to Silver's forecast, Trump had a 56.2% chance of winning the Electoral College vote, while Harris was in last place with a 43.5% chance. Surveying proposes citizens, by vast dominant parts, accept Harris won that experience. When Trump, the conservative candidate and previous president, really behaved destructively by happening off-point deviations about swarm sizes at his conventions, and making generally exposed claims about Haitian settlers eating pets. A New York Times Philadelphia Inquirer Siena cross-country survey on Thursday showed the competitors tied at 47%. Really a slight improvement for Harris on a similar review taken before the discussion, when Trump recorded a noteworthy lead. Other public surveying has been more certain for Harris. A Morning Council survey, in view of in excess of 11,000 respondents, gave her a 6-point advantage, 51% to 45%, the greatest she had laid out since supplanting Joe Biden at the highest point of the majority rule ticket. A similar New York Times Siena survey that had the two competitors gridlocked broadly showed Harris with a 4-point advantage, half 46% in Pennsylvania, a swing state that numerous pundits distinguish as the most significant of all in arriving at the 270 electing votes expected to catch the White House. The review is upheld by a different survey from Quinnipiac, which shows Harris with an important lead in the state, 51% to 45%. Also, the Quinnipiac survey gives Harris leads in 2 adjoining milestones, Michigan and Wisconsin, 5% and 1% separately. Catching each of the 3 states, once in a while named the Blue Wall by liberals, would be sufficient to get Harris a small constituent school triumph, without her expecting to win any of the 4 southern Sun Belt states, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona, where the 2 competitors are genuinely tied. However, in the midst of the confidence, there is a note of watchfulness for the VP. In the most recent 2 elections, Trump outperformed pollsters' predictions in the Blue Wall states, winning all 3 in 2016 and losing each by approximately 1 percentage point in 2020, when polls had Biden significantly ahead. By the by, surveyors distinguish a change from past decisions that is helping Harris out, and which is shaving away the conservatives' expected benefit in the discretionary school, where Trump won in 2016, notwithstanding getting 2.7 less votes cross-country than Hillary Clinton, his rival. Nate Cohn, the New York Times head surveying expert, called Harris's lead in Pennsylvania while binds with Trump cross-country a riddle, yet said it was reliable with most other reviews. Throughout the past month, a great deal of these surveys show Ms. Harris doing moderately ineffectively from one side of the country to the other, yet doing great in the northern milestone states, he composed. What's unmistakable is that new outcomes from more excellent surveys are altogether different from those of the last official political race. If valid, it would recommend that Mr. Trump's benefit in the discretionary school, comparative with the famous vote, has declined altogether starting around 2020. Another obvious reason for Harris's self-congratulation is the shortfall with Trump over which up-and-comer is believed on the economy has been shut. According to surveys, the economy continues to be the single most important issue for the majority of voters. This is in line with the adage, "It's the economy, stupid," which was coined by Democratic operative James Carville, who helped chart Bill Clinton's victory in the 1992 election. However, separate surveys indicate that since Harris was nominated, the substantial advantage Trump held over Biden appears to have diminished, despite persistent concerns about inflation and rising living costs. A related Pressnork survey distributed on Friday showed 41% of electors confided in Harris as a steward of the economy, while 43% gave Trump the gesture, an ostensible hole given the ex-president's endeavors to tar his rival with Biden's disliked monetary record. The outcome substantiated a prior Morning Council study, which tied the up-and-comers at 46% on financial trust, while a FT Michigan Ross review directed after the discussion even gave Harris a little lead. Sophia Begg, a financial specialist and creator of Morning Council's review, said Harris had effectively sidestepped fault for Biden's strategies while prevailing upon citizens with her promises to get serious about value gouging and physician-recommended drug costs. She wrote, "They say Vice President Kamala Harris is less responsible than President Biden, despite the fact that many voters are unsatisfied with the current economy." All through this political decision cycle, electors reliably said they believe previous President Trump over Biden to deal with the economy. However, Harris has shut that hole.